Let's solve question 31 now. So in terms of expected utility, the introduction of the test yields a Pareto improvement. In other words, someone in the market is better off, either the buyers or the sellers, without making anyone worse off if the test is being used. So when would this be a Pareto improvement? Since this is a second-hand market and we would like to sell cars that the buyers don't know the quality about, the test would help if people manage to trade more cars. So if there are more cars sold on the market, then that would be a Pareto improvement. Now what do we know? We have two cases. We have a case without the test and a case with the test. So we have to compare them both. Now in the previous videos we solved what is the equilibrium quality that we need to trade cars, and we saw that without the test, if the quality was less than B over V, if this relationship holds, then the sellers are selling the cars to the buyers, so there would be trade. Now the question is, what would be the maximum value of B over V so that we can trade cars without the test? Well, in the question is given also the fact that B is less than 1 over 2V. Now let's work out this method here over here a bit. If B is less than 1 over 2V, then if we take V on the other side, it means that B over V would be less than 1 over 2. B over V would be less than 1 over 2. In other words, what is B over V? We just saw that would be the equilibrium quality. So if the equilibrium quality is less than 1 over 2, then we are trading cars on the market without the test. Let's write it over here like that. So if the quality is less than 1 over 2, then we trade cars without the test. We trade cars without test. Now the question is, can we increase this quality? Can we raise it above 1 over 2? So we want to see that if we are using the test, can we do it or not? In other words, we would like to replicate the method that we did a couple of videos ago now in the scenario with the test. And if we do so, then we have to take into account that we need to find out the quality that will make the buyers and the sellers indifferent. We would like to find out what would be that Q. And we know that when we are solving for the scenario where people use the test, then the quality is at least 1 over 2, because customers would like to buy a good car, and we know that if the quality is above 1 over 2, that means a high quality car. So we'd like to find here the indifferent level of the quality, or in other words, the level of the quality that makes the buyers and the sellers indifferent. So the price of the buyers would be equal to the price of the sellers over here. Now how can we do that? Well, we have to find out the price of the buyer, because the price of the seller is simple. That's just the valuation of the seller. He knows what he sells. The buyer is more uncertain because he doesn't know what he would receive. So we will do the same logic. We will have one case when the buyer would have the minimum expected value, which is 1 over 2 for the quality, and a specific quality that will make him indifferent with the seller. So let's calculate that. Let's go over here to the right and see what we get. The price of the buyer in this case that he'll be willing to pay with the screen. So this is the price of the buyer when the screen is being applied, or in other words, the test is being applied. Makes more intuitive sense. That would also be equal to the average valuation, and for that we also need the function of the valuation of the buyer to use, which is given over here. So let's keep it right next to us so that we can use it. That would be equal to 2 multiplied the minimum quality, as we said, would be 1 over 2 from the graph over here, the end point, this one, that would be 1 over 2. So 2 times 1 over 2 multiplied with V plus B. Now on the other side we will have the other level of quality, which would be 2 multiplied with the quality that makes it indifferent times V plus B divided by 2. So all of this divided by 2. Now we can cancel out some terms over here. 2 and 2 goes away, so that the price that the buyers are willing to pay when they're using the test would be V plus B. So V plus B plus 2 multiplied with the quality multiplied with V plus B divided by 2. Now we can add some terms over here. We can add the B and another B. So we'll have the price of the buyer equals to b plus b, that's 2b, plus 2qv, so 2qv plus v, all of this divided by 2. Let's divide every term by 2 to see what we get. The price of the buyer with the test, when they use the test, would be equal to 2b divided by 2, that's just b, plus 2qv divided by 2, that would be just qv, plus 1 over 2v. 1 over 2v. Now, as always, we would like to make this equal to the price that the seller is willing to sell to find the level that makes them indifferent, and that price of the seller would be just 2qv. So let's write it over here below. The price of the seller, the price of the seller with the test would be equal to 2qv. And with this in mind, if we make them equal, then we would have b plus qv plus 1 over 2v, the price that the buyer is willing to pay, equals to 2qv, the price that the seller is willing to sell. What will we get here? Let's take qv to the other side. So we have b plus 1 over 2v equals to 2qv minus 1qv, which is qv. We would like to find out the quality level, so we will keep q on one side only, so that we have b plus 1 over 2v divided by v, right? We divide all of this by v. And what do we get as a result? Well, let's see over here. Q divided by, so the Q would be equal to B divided by V, so B divided by V, plus 1 over 2V divided by V. V and V cancels out, so plus 1 over 2. That would be the equilibrium quality. So let's put all this data on the graph to see if we have a Pareto improvement or not. Recall from the previous videos that we found out that the quality at most can be 1 over 2 to trade cars without the test. So from here, let's crop that. If the quality is less than 1 over 2, then we trade the cars without the test. Okay, so we need that over here like that. And now what we saw is that if we have quality less than BV plus 1 over 2, then we would trade the cars with the test. So if Q is less than or equal to that, then we trade cars with the test, using test. Let's put this on a number line to see if we have the Pareto improvement, because we can see there's a difference between these two qualities. So that should give us a signal that probably we do have a Pareto improvement. Now, what would that be? Well, the distribution is between 0 and 1. So the distribution is between 0 and 1 of the quality. Now we know that if the quality is less than 1 over 2, so let's say 1 over 2 is in the middle over here, on this range we are trading cars without the test, right? We are trading without the test. So trade without test. Now on this range, 1 over 2 plus BV, so we will have a new point on this distribution, which is 1 over 2 plus BV, and it has to be to the right of 1 over 2 because it's increased by the value of BV. Well, all the values, right, all the values to the left of that, so on this range we can trade the cars with this quality. So what do we see over here? If we trade, let me just change colors real quick. If we trade cars on this range, so trade cars with test, we can see that we have an improvement. This area is an improvement. That is our Pareto improvement, because we're trading some more cars. In other words, the fact that we're using a test makes some sellers sell better quality cars which they couldn't before. The intuition is this: the buyers were afraid to pay too much for some cars before, because they might have gotten a lemon, they might have got a bad car, but because they have the proof from the test, they are willing to pay more, because the test shows them that yes, this is a good car and this is how much you want to pay for it. You can pay the expected valuation for it, the willingness to pay of the buyer. So in other words, we do have a Pareto improvement because we can sell some more better cars in the market. So we have a Pareto improvement because we can sell more cars on the market. Hope this makes sense, and we are done.